Imagine what it would be like to live in a non-Euclidean world. This would be something very bizarre, and something you can really only understand if you see it for yourself. So, I have created a non-Euclidean world in Minecraft. One example is this tunnel here. It looks really long, and it stretches across from the desert into the grassland. But if I look in the tunnel, you'll notice that the door is right over there. Now, how can this be possible? Well, let's walk across to the other side and see what happens when we enter this door right here. We appear right here. So, in reality, the tunnel is actually really short, even though it looks really long. Here's an example of a really short tunnel. It's only it's only 6 blocks long, and there are doors on both ends. But when I walk through it, the tunnel is actually really long on the inside. And if we take a look, it's still short on the outside. Nothing has changed. Here's where things get even more interesting. This is a tunnel that goes out and then makes a right turn. But if I'm walking through the tunnel, it's actually just a straight tunnel with no turns. Even though it looks like it makes a turn, even though it does make a turn, you can actually walk through this tunnel without turning at all, because it's traveling a straight line and end up over there. Here we have the opposite twist. We have a straight tunnel, but it's actually, you have to make a turn on the inside in order to get directly to the other side. Here we have an area with trees, and here we have a gold platform. I'm going to start over here. And when I enter the tunnel, I have to make a turn, even though it's a straight path. And notice we never actually changed, or we never actually turned. We were traveling in a straight line the whole time. By now you probably know that things are not always as they seem when dealing with non-Euclidean worlds. This is a very nice example of this. Here we have a small 4x4x4 box, but if I walk inside of it, it's actually a really big room on the inside. This is one of my favorites. Here we have another room, and this time when I walk inside of it, everything appears normal until I walk around here. When I walk around, there is more space within this room. I can actually explore a lot more space than it appears that I can. There's multiple rooms inside of this one room. And I can actually go to places that don't actually exist. Like this. And theoretically, I could cram an infinite amount of space into any finite space. And as I walk through this house, it may appear that the house is changing, but in reality, I'm just entering new and unique spaces every time. And here we enter another part of the room. So nothing in this room is really as it seems, and it looks like we've finally looped all the way back around. And now I can just proceed to the exit, which is now taller for some reason. But, you know, dealing with non-Euclidean worlds is you can never expect anything. And as you can see, we were just inside of this room the whole time, even though it looked like we were in a much bigger space. Here's another cool example. In this room, there's a tunnel going up and a tunnel going down. And if I go through the tunnel going down, I end up in the same room. And you may ask, well, how can this be the same room? When it obviously looks like I've just traveled to another room. Well, because I can just keep going. I can just drop and then drop again, and I can do this forever, essentially. And it works going up as well. I can just go up forever and ever. And just to prove this point, I am going to put an object. I'm going to put a pumpkin right here against the wall. Maybe not that close because I'll accidentally pick it up. I'll put it right here. I'll drop into the next room and that pumpkin will still be there. And here I am in the same room as before. So it doesn't matter how many times you go through, you're not going to a new room, you're going into the same room, which makes this very interesting. Here's one last example. Here we have a tunnel that goes upwards, but to go up, we can go down the tunnel and end up on top. Likewise, if we wanted to go to the bottom, we would in fact have to travel back up the tunnel, and we would end up at the bottom. For now, let's just enjoy the fact that we just went down in order to get to the top.